Securities is a huge threat, both for the United States and for any democracy trying to deal with it. The U.S. has been gung-ho in going after the Al-Qaeda and the ISIS over the last few years. Now we have with us Shalabh Kumar, who is an Indian-American businessman. He's a Trump supporter and has funded the Trump campaign. Shalabh, you've been an ardent Trump supporter. Give us a little bit of sense on why you decided to support Trump. What was the reason?
Well, RHC, Republican Hindu Coalition, has 4 core principles. We call them 4 Fs. First is free enterprise. Second is fiscal discipline. Third is family values. Fourth is firm foreign policy. So in all those Fs, 4 Fs, Donald Trump stands head and shoulder above anybody else. And if I was to score those 4 Fs with respect to Hillary versus Trump, I don't think I would be giving this score to anyone. I would probably be a lot closer if it was Bill Clinton who was a candidate. But for Hillary, I don't think I could even give 0.
Can I pick up
0
on...
to, if I don't never give a 10. So 9, if I give to Trump, it will be 0 or -2 to Hillary on all 4 Fs.
Speaking of one of those 4 Fs, you said family values. So certainly a lot of things that Trump has said conflicts with how people perceive his family values.
Perception is very different than legislation. Okay, we have factories in Iowa. Iowa is just one of the states we have factories. You tend to think that, oh, that is more of a rural area, and there should be a lot more family values. And you find very quickly, as we first bought our business in Iowa, that the legislation is such, it encourages young girls, 18-year-old girls, 19, 20-year-old girls to have children from, if you have unwed mothers who have children from different fathers. And if you can get a certificate, you can get it from, a system how, just like in India, here you get a certificate that they have some kind of a disability. They will make so much more money than a hardworking 4-year college graduate engineer. That this is when I talk about family values, legislation in the name of being, let's say, what would be the word? There will be that they are kind, they're supportive of the people who are in need. The legislation has gone to the extent that it just encourages breakup of families, okay, rather than there is a marriage penalty.
Let me ask, a lot of people have criticized the Trump side for not having enough experience on policy, on global affairs. Do you think he's ready to take on a presidency to deal with the world?
Actually, that is probably on that score he should get a 20 instead of 10. Because look what all the experienced people, and I do work on Capitol Hill quite a bit. So Paul is a friend of mine, and Speaker of the House. Mitch McConnell is a friend of mine. All these leaders in the House and Senate, they are friends, and I've worked with them for quite a while. I'm not going to sit here and criticize them, but look what experience has gotten the country. We were $9 trillion in debt for more than 200 years of our existence. That is including so many wars, Revolutionary War, then Civil War, then First World War, Second World War, Korean War, Vietnam War, then First Iraq War, then the Second Iraq War.
So what
$9
you're saying
trillion.
is Trump will get the U.S. out of it?
Trump will be in the right direction. You need a businessman, an outsider, a non-politician. We have a lot of trade dealings with China ourselves, and he normally talks about we businessmen, business community laughs at the way our politicians, both Republican and Democrat, they assign our trade negotiators. They could not negotiate a buyout of a hot dog stand. And they are going to be negotiating with China? Come on.
Well, he is known as a successful businessman, but he's also been bankrupt before. Does that make you worry about his fiscal sense?
You see, I will give you another example. When you say bankrupt, okay, you know Texaco and Pennzoil?
Yes.
Okay, who filed bankruptcy?
I don't
Would
know.
you consider Texaco to be a bad company? No. There is American laws provide to file bankruptcy in case there is a bad situation. Okay, people file bankruptcy when there is a threat of some kind of an action. So that bankruptcy is well within the American law. So it's not that he's gone out there and cheated anyone. Okay, it's a normal procedure.
You know, we were talking the other day, and you talked about Trump made some statements which obviously stand out. His statement on women, and you said it was locker room talk. Explain to me how you justify some of the statements Trump has made.
You see, first of all, I will make this statement to you. If we are going to elect the President of the United States, the most powerful democracy on earth, and the leader of the free world, on the basis of what Trump said 11 years ago in a locker room talk, or for that matter, I will even say that Hillary Clinton defended the rapist of a 12-year-old girl, okay, and bragged about it, how smart of an attorney she was. She knew he was a rapist. But as a defense lawyer, that's what you do. That was her job, to get the rapist off. Or what are all the indiscretions Bill Clinton had with respect to all the women, that came across. But we cannot decide the future of the free world on the basis of these type of things. I just heard you talking about a security issue. We are in a third world war. We have an enemy that has declared war on us. Radical Islamist extremists, they have declared a war on us. We are in the midst of a war, and we are worried about what he said 11 years in a locker room, and what Hillary Clinton defended the rapist, or what Bill Clinton
Kumar,
did.
a lot of people have turned around and are disappointed with both candidates, if I may say so. 60% of them came out and said they're disappointed. Does it really... either of these individuals, do they represent what America should have as the president?
Let me also give you an example, okay? What would people think today? You know, we all think JFK was a great president, correct? How about people if they come to know that he had an affair with Marilyn Monroe? Okay,
I think
Marilyn Monroe. So then, what would you say over there? Oh, no longer forget about the march to the moon and have uplifting the country. In my mind, by the way, I am a Republican, but to me, JFK was an inspiration. He was an inspirational president. I admired him throughout my life.
He certainly talked about a lot of equality. Whereas, and uniting the country, where a lot of Trump's talk is about creating divisions.
I don't believe so. I think it's Hillary who is creating the divisions. Okay, men versus women, young versus old, gays versus, or that community versus the other community. She is the one who's dividing the nation. With respect to Trump, he is, it appears to me, is just like, in your context, in India's context, just like Modi. Everybody said, oh, Hindu nationalist, it's going to come to an end. There is going to be a civil riots throughout the country. And he kept on saying development regardless of anything, regardless of caste, regardless of religion, regardless of whatever. And so is the same principle with Donald Trump. Development, make America great again, irrespective of who you are. Look at what he has done with the Indian community. Okay, he has the first candidate who has come out and approached an Indian community. Now, otherwise they think, oh, he's a racist. He is attending the only non-white rally. Okay, 10,000 people come out. I mean, it's all concoction of media.
Mr. Shalabh Kumar, you obviously are a businessman.
Yes.
And you understand business well. Do you think, is Hillary better for business or Trump better for business?
There is not even a question. On a business side, I will give -5 to Hillary. Okay, and Trump, instead of a 10, that side, I don't give a 10 to anybody. I said I probably on that side I'll have to give him a 12, 13. Because just look at this. Look at the overall picture. Okay, any businessman can can reduce 10% cost when you are in crisis. Okay, that's your fiscal discipline, our second F. And here, what the politicians have made it to be, you cannot cut. You can cut military, you can cut any branch of the government. If you are a businessman, you could be more productive, still cutting military spending, still cutting all the other domestic programs.
I agree.
You could be more
a lot
efficient.
of businesses have, come up and spoken to us about, how Trump may be better for business. There has been one more thing which has come up over time and again, and Trump has brought it up, that media has been a bit unfair to Clinton. Do you think the media has been unfair to Clinton?
To Clinton?
Sorry, to Trump. To Trump.
Right. I mean,
you brought it up as well, right?
That's right.
Why?
We have Clinton News Network. I'm so sorry. I mean, I feel so bad. I'm such a fan of Wolf Blitzer. From the 1990 when he was under the desk and was first Iraq War, I became a fan of him. Okay, he sort of still behaved okay, but when you have Donna Brazil passing out questions before the debate to Hillary, what has CNN become? There's no question CNN has become Clinton News Network.
That I may agree, but
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for joining us for this. We get a great sense from the American media on how this has been covered. We picked out a few newspapers this morning.
Yes, certainly the no FBI leads on it, that finding that she is not guilty of any charges. But more interestingly was how kind of some of the tabloids they use, it's the use of surnames that always is interesting. In certain medias, they'll use Hillary instead of Clinton, and in this one, they use Donald instead of Trump.
So it's quite surprising to see they call her Clinton, but while call him Donald, showing the disrespect. So the media has been a bit biased in the coverage against Trump. And
you see,
that has
now
been
again,
seen.
I'll clarify something else also with respect to FBI Director Comey's statement.
Right.
He has not ended the probe of the Clinton Foundation. He's not ended that. That is still a going on investigation, and it's a criminal investigation. The one thing is just totally I'm amazed at. I don't know why doesn't Clinton News Network pick it up, okay? That she gets the money from the countries that are most repressive to women. Okay, there isn't any other country like Saudi Arabia. If you travel with your wife, with your daughter to Saudi Arabia, you will know how discriminatory they are towards women. It's not second-class citizens, it's third-class citizens, and she takes money from them.
Well, that's it. That's for an FBI investigation. Certainly, we are unable to comment on that. That's why the FBI are on the case. But
FBI is not going to decide on whether Saudi Arabia treats their women as third world citizens.
But
they will decide
the
only
Clinton Foundation,
they're only
we don't
whether
have
there was
access to
something
it.
illegal done or not.
With you on that.
Yeah.